Climate change has been the most significant topic of the 21st century. What we have seen, how this is more and more concentrating. Convergence is happening among nations, more than 200 nations, and recently concluded the Glasgow summit, what we had, the COP26, what we call Conference of Parties, within the United Nations framework. Now we see multiple developments on providing more advancements and commitments from multiple nations states on their climate control and emission control, CO2 greenhouse gas emission control commitments. India also made its commitments. However, all these commitments are largely voluntarily, and that is one shortfall what we observe. Secondly, we see countries, big emitters like India, China, they are committing a net zero emission of 2060 for China, 2070 for India, and even the Western countries are not particular, and nothing before 2050 can be expected in terms of net zero emission of greenhouse gases. So, what to do? Where are we heading? We are seeing how different erratic climate behaviors outside, the floods happening, untimed floods, flash floods, or other heavy rains, the sea level rising, the temperature rising, and it is expected to rise to by 1.5 degree C uh, in the coming decades. And so these are major threat points which are not being taken to the right due consideration by the global leaders. We have seen the ignorance of US in the Trump era on this climate pact, climate movement, and similar is the case from China. India positions itself as something, still we are in developing phase and we need more time to develop, and here we would want to stick with more on the polluters pay principle and differentiated responsibility. So those who have polluted this environment earlier, since the industrial revolution, should correct it. So all of these are fine, and discussions are happening. It is moving forward. So it is to be seen how this will be taken forward. Definitely, the good thing is that all the countries are switching to green transition. Their economies are more and more shifting from the coal-fired plants to renewable fired plants, be it solar, wind. India is currently producing near about 100 gigawatt of renewable energy, and it has committed to reach it to 500 gigawatts. So that's a good thing by 2030, and that's a good thing. And in fact, the issue here is that we remain, and China remains to continue with their coal-fired plants. And in the Glasgow summit as well, the language of the agreement is not talking about phasing out of these coal-fired plants or providing subsidy, uh, uh, stopping subsidy to these fossil fuels. Rather, it is phasing down of these things. So that is mitigating the severity of the commitment, and which is not acceptable, if we can say so. And it's important that India leads this from the eastern side. We don't expect others to lead it. So Indian commitments are very important here. We are also polluting largely the environment. Although the per capita pollution from India, per capita greenhouse gas emission from India is is very low. So that is something we put forward. However, overall, it is expected that things are in some direction. Nations are together, and it is to be seen how the next year's COP27, which will be held in Cairo, there we have to see how what next set of agreements and how things will unfold from thereafter. So let's save the world, let's save the earth, That's important, and we need to realize that. Thank you.